Okay, here we go. Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs.
I'm Katie.
I'm Roger.
If you socialize with a person that uses their left hand predominantly for more than 5 days out of any 2 weeks, your life expectancy goes down by 5 years.
Oh no.
What?
Our life is ruined.
Well, that's
10
a
out of
great
14
way to
days.
start the show.
Wow.
Well,
Wow,
well,
way
that
to
was
start
that.
it with a bummer.
really glad to know that our life expectancy all is down.
Let's move right along.
Glad I don't write with my left hand.
I'm your resident left-handed, Cameron.
Can Cameron?
Cameron.
Candid Cameron.
Use the hashtag Geeks Corner to talk about the amazing start of this show and where you want to see it go next. It's gonna be neat.
Yeah. I think it's pretty
Is it?
neat.
Okay, I hope so too.
Yes.
All right, well, let's start off with some Disney and Pixar news. Today it was announced that Disney Animation Studios and Pixar Animation Studios have new chief creative officers, which is awesome. And Roger, who are they? I'm going to let you
Pete
hop in.
Docter, who's been at Pixar forever and a day. And that's really exciting.
Was it 1990 he came
I
in?
believe so,
Yeah.
yeah. He was one of the CalArts people. And CalArts has their classroom is A113, where they all learn. So just watch any Pixar movie, you'll find the A113, which I did.
Did everybody see
found
it?
it incredible.
Okay.
Yes.
I did
Just
Incredibles
checking.
too.
Good.
And then you have Jennifer Lee, who was a writer, producer. She did Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, and she's only been with Disney for about 7 years or so. So for her to be promoted into a very male-dominated role the last, almost 90 years is just incredible. I mean, it's.
Well, we did see Johnny 5 a couple days ago, so
did.
I guess it was bound to happen.
We did. We've seen a shift in women becoming executives and just more, taking more power.
Well, and in the studios
Yeah.
and in animation up and through Walt Disney Studios, she's the only executive, I think, that's in that type of a leadership role.
I believe so.
Because all the other ones are male, and then they're reporting up to Alan Horn. So that's really a huge deal, I think, and it's breaking through another barrier. What do you think of both of these? Let's start with her. She's really behind Frozen. She's also working on Frozen 2, which has been massively successful for the Disney company, whether you like it or you're tired of it. I think you have to recognize that there was some magic that happened there, and it really, it's going to be one of those historical asterisks, I think, in the history of animation. So what do you think about her as the choice on the Disney side?
I like it because I don't give two bothers about the particular gender. What I'm most excited about is that they put a storyteller in that role.
Definitely.
That is the most important thing for me, and I feel it's something that's been lacking in that particular leadership. That's not just for Disney, but across media in general. If you put somebody who understands the core tenets of what makes a good story and the person as the guiding force in something, the result is always better. And that's
Good
what I
story,
like.
good movie.
Yep.
I think it's very apparent that she's a very strong creative type, who also knows how to work with others and make successful things happen. So I think that it's an incredible move, an incredible move for Pixar. I misinterview myself, it's fine. And I know it's easy to be like, oh, well, I don't really care if it's man, woman, whatever. But I do think that people can say that and then still only promote men into these roles.
Sure.
So the fact that a woman is getting it is a huge, awesome step. And not just the fact that she's a woman, but the fact that she's an incredible force to be reckoned with. So.
How many times are we going to say incredible in this episode?
Stop
just
it!
asking.
Stop it.
Well,
I think we're at like
and
4
not just
already.
That, but I just like that they finally said, okay, you know what? We're going to separate the two companies, so to say. Have Pete focus on Pixar and have Jennifer on Walt Disney Animation.
Which I think could be really good too, because they both have their own voice.
Yeah.
Pixar definitely has a look, feel, style, storytelling technique that you kind of go, oh yeah, that's a Pixar
right.
film. Like you know it, even if it's a different genre of, The Incredibles versus Toy Story are two very different types of movies.
They're all shaped a little weird.
That's
it.
one way. And then Disney definitely has that rich legacy that goes back almost 100 years, I guess. And it's got a definite look, feel, everything as well. It will be interesting because whether it's fair or not, We've got Wreck-It Ralph, Ralph Breaks the Internet coming out later this year, and she's going to be the one that, if it's fair or not, she's going to get judged on it.
Yeah.
And I kind of think like this is going to be her first test. And we've spoken about the princess scene, and if it's a good I don't know, a good connection or representation of these characters that have been going through the last 50, 60 years, some of them 80 years. How old is Snow White? 80 years?
80.
Yeah.
80.
80 years. And you've got the movies and their sequels that they've made that you can either acknowledge or deny that they exist, but they definitely have personalities that have been built through these decades that it kind of appears that maybe they've deviated from in Wreck-It Ralph, but we'll see. But that could either be a home run for her, or maybe it's such a small scene in the movie it won't even matter. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
okay.
see.
Moving on to Pete Docter.
Yes.
He's behind Inside Out, Monsters Inc., Up, lots of movies that will make you cry, it seems like. What do you think about him getting promoted to this?
Quick question about Pete Docter. Has he received any honorary degrees anywhere?
Different spelling.
Oh, is it? But still, it'd be so much fun to say.
Doctor.
Oh, it'd be good.
You know what? I would think in his new role, at some point,
He's gonna get
some
one.
university is going to give it.
Oh, it's going to be so good, too.
I agree.
Oh, it's going to be so good. Please, call me Dr. Pete.
Doctor, give me the news.
I got bad case of laryngitis, actually. Yeah, so
I can't record this scene
if you
today.
could help me out.
We're hilarious here at Geeks Corner.
And you know it because we tell you.
Yeah, that's how you know
That's
someone's
how you know.
That's how you know someone's funny, is if they repeat it and drive it into you. I think, again, he knows how to do successful movies, and he has a vision, and I think they put visionaries in both roles. And I think that's important for the next growth of Pixar and where it's going to go.
I like that he's a family man, too.
Yes.
Like, you think of Inside Out, and it very much was a family story for him with his kid. And to me, that's something that was always a part of Walt also. Like, there was always that connection to, you hear the story of Disneyland where you go to the park with the girls, and there was always that family component, and I just like that he's very overtly a family guy, and I think that's great for a company like Disney and Pixar.
And all evidence to them being, and I know this has been something they're aware of, safe choices.
Oh yeah,
and
it has to be.
I don't mean safe in that they're not going to take any risks. I feel artistically they're going to.
Clearly. I mean, look at what he's done.
Yeah, it's just as far
Both
as
of them have done.
character-wise, I value the integrity of both of them.
So the question I want to ask next, and this is more on the Disney side than the Pixar, well, it's completely Disney side. Now that she's in charge, are we going to get a Mickey Mouse feature-length film?
Oh, wow.
I want a feature-length Mickey Mouse film.
I say they start planning it now for
100th birthday.
Yeah, 100th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've got a decade now at this point.
Yep.
I mean they put some
Relatively.
work into it because that better be the home run if you're
Yeah.
gonna do it. Like that is
yeah.
you can't mess that
It
up.
has to be incredibly compelling.
Yeah, incredibly so. Huh?
That counts if you're counting. It sounded like you were. I saw it on Twitter. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
And the last real big feature we got with Mickey was Runaway Brain. That was, over
Which
20
really
years
doesn't,
ago.
like,
I mean,
it counts,
was a
but it doesn't
short.
count. But
It
yeah.
was a short, but, I would, love to see something with, Mickey and Minnie. I mean, they're finally getting their own attraction in Hollywood Studios in a couple of years. The
Next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with actors like Mickey Mouse, if you don't train the brain and give them big feature-length films, they're going to do what every actor does, which is go back to Broadway, put on a one-man show.
It's true.
And while I think Mickey could handle that at his age, I don't know if that's going to be the most appealing thing.
Yeah.
Also, he might get a little artistic with it. I know he's been pursuing a little bit of Shakespeare in his off time. I don't see, maybe West End if he's going to do something short run. I mean, he has to at this point.
So is Mickey going to appear in Ralph Breaks the Internet?
No.
No.
Probably as a hidden Mickey somewhere.
No.
I mean,
I'm
there's
just
going
asking.
to be pictures of him.
Yeah, there's going to be
like
references
Oh
to
My
him.
Disney pictures and stuff. Unless it's like a 15-second a la Goofy movie driving by
Or
Mickey
he
Mouse.
just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
That would be the extent I would be happy with.
All right, well, let's move back to Pixar. Incredibles 2 came out last weekend, and we're going to pivot right to that.
Heard of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I am familiar with that
You
movie.
are familiar with it. We've all seen it. We're going to do a
Yeah.
spoiler-free review of this, so you don't have to. Yeah, I know. I'm just being kind to some of our viewers, I think. And so, Katie, why don't you lead off? What did you think of Incredibles 2?
I'm gonna get out of the way. I thought it was incredible. Yay! Wow, that's amazing. Okay. So here's my unpopular opinion.
It's a good way to start. Maybe we should start with Roger.
I thought it was great. Let's talk about problems.
No, I thought there was a lot of hype that the movie didn't necessarily live up to. That doesn't mean that I thought it was a bad film. I enjoyed
It means
it.
you spent too much time on Twitter, doesn't it?
No.
Instagram.
Yeah, you're right.
Facebook.
It was Instagram.
I thought it was a good movie, and I thought it was better than the first one. But out of all my Pixar favorites, it's probably middle of the pack. And that's not to say it is a bad movie. There are just other movies I enjoy more. But it was fun. It was a good movie.
I appreciated that it wasn't fluff. They had an opportunity with Incredibles 2 to just give us Incredibles 2, and we would have been completely satisfied. But
Yeah.
Especially with that soundtrack.
yeah, I mean, they took the opportunity to do some rather compelling things and some bolder story choices that I appreciated.
And there were a couple moments that I thought were flat out stressful.
Oh, definitely.
Because there were those moments of like, I don't actually know what's going to happen right now. And I thought that was very good storytelling on their part.
I found it a little bit predictable.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just it's a sequel, so we kind of knew what to expect. And once some of the New York characters were introduced, you saw them for like 10 or 15 seconds. You're like, okay, I know what they're doing.
Trope.
Yeah, exactly. You can pinpoint, okay, this is what they're up to. This is what they're up to, but they're actually up to this. And
Do you think that's part of what made it so fun, though?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Is because it
And
was kind
awareness
of
of
just
tropes,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I got this. I don't have to actually think too deep about it. I can just enjoy it. And then the moment where something that you didn't know was going on, it suddenly was like, oh wait, what's going on? And did you want to add something?
I think Cameron and I have talked about this. There's a psychological thing where spoilers actually enhance your enjoyment of movies. If you see spoilers beforehand, it puts less stress on your brain and you can enjoy other parts of it because your brain isn't trying to constantly figure out what the ending is going to be. And I think it was kind of that. There was almost built-in spoilers where you could figure out what was going to happen, but then there was surprise things that came out of nowhere. And I thought it was really cool.
It's the same reason that most sitcoms continue to work, even though you know the plot of every single one. With the idea, not to get too boring on you, is that your brain releases dopamine when it gets what it thinks it's going to get. So if, whether consciously or subconsciously, you figure out things in a movie before it happens, your brain's happy.
Yes.
So you can figure things out.
Which is why people like feel-good movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Totally makes sense. So the question that I want to ask now is, who was your favorite character in the film? We're going to start at that end and work my way. Roger, go
I'm
first.
gonna go Jack.
Jack?
Oh,
Jack?
yeah.
Jack.
Okay.
Yep.
Ed Damone is the hero of that film.
Okay.
I love Violet.
Nobody picked the raccoon. I loved the
I think
raccoon.
Raccoon's pretty good.
Raccoon was my favorite. He stole the movie. Like, that moment to me was the...
Stole it.
That was not intentional. But go ahead.
No, I was gonna. If you didn't want to finish your thought, I was going to go with something else about the movie.
No, I loved the raccoon. Like, I thought it was one of the funny things because you saw the picture of the raccoon in one of the posters, and I remember having the discussion like, why is there a raccoon? This makes no sense.
And there was a Rock'em Sock'em robot like Jack and raccoon toy.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it just didn't make sense. But that
still
to
doesn't
me,
make sense.
true. But that would be a hilarious short. Like, you could literally make shorts based off of that raccoon. I think.
Cute high-waisted short.
Welcome back to Raccoon and the Baby live.
I wanted to talk about the short before Incredibles 2
Okay.
because I thought it was an excellent display of storytelling, and there wasn't any dialogue in the entire thing, which there isn't usually.
So Cameron was sitting in the way back of the theater behind
way
us,
In the
and
way
he
back.
could hear her sobbing from the back of the theater. Right, Cameron? You could hear it, right?
Oh, is that what that grunting noise was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started crying from the literal second the short started. I don't know why. I think it's because I knew what I was getting into, and so the second she, I don't know. I cried the whole thing, and it was aggressive sobbing. It wasn't just a cute little like sniffle. It was like a.
So how would you rate it compared to other shorts that Pixar has put out?
I was thinking about it, and it's not just animation wise, but I compared it a lot to Piper, where it was kind of like that feel good type short of. I feel good though I cried through the whole thing.
So top half, but not the top quarter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say my top 3, but pretty close to it.
Okay.
It's in my top 5.
Yeah, I felt like it was pretty good, but it wasn't like the home run, which I don't know what I would put as their very best animated short. But
Jerry's Game.
Throwing it way back.
That's one of my favorites.
That one is so hard to beat, though.
It is
that
one of my
is
absolute
brilliant.
favorites.
Presto's really good too.
Presto's really
I like the
Presto. I was cracking up in the theater the first time I saw it.
the umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was,
Wait.
Was the title Umbrella?
Wasn't that Disney?
Was that a Disney short?
That's Disney.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a Pixar short. That was very well done.
It's got a
Knick-Knack was a good one too.
Knick-Knack was good, and so was the
Paperman.
Paperman.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
was the other
Paperman
one.
is so good.
Paperman might be number 1 for me. Yeah. What? We have a conversation in the front row.
It was
Okay.
really distracting.
Not me.
My brain
For the
panicked.
birds.
Now it
For the
is.
Birds.
For the Birds is hilarious also. Well, now we're going to move on into a new segment that we are going to call Tinfoil Hats. And that is because we're going to wear... Well, Cameron just talked about this.
All right, so we have some very important concepts to discuss with you because we've seen beyond the veil of many things. In particular, tonight we are going to talk a little bit more in depth about Incredibles because we know the truth. And the truth is out there.
Truth is out there.
But we wear the hats so that the people who don't need to know the thoughts can't get the thoughts, but we can get the thoughts. And that's the important thing.
Oh, that's how it works.
Welcome
yeah.
to our TED Talk.
Welcome to our
To our TED Talk. Okay.
The truth is out there. Welcome to our TED Talk.
Okay, so explain how this is going to work, Cameron.
So we are going to share some of our favorite theories about a particular subject. In this case, talking a little bit about Incredibles. It's a great article on dapsmagic.com if you want to see a little bit more in depth.
He's not biased.
I'm not biased at all.
And we're going to make them vague enough that it's not a full-on spoiler.
See, that's my question. Some of this stuff is minorly spoilery.
But not plot points, so it'll
No,
be okay.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know,
We'll be careful, Bailey.
we'll try.
I think all of yours are fine.
Yeah, I think they should
Yeah.
be.
All right, so we're going to work down the row. Roger's going to go first, and... or do you want to go first, Cameron?
I can go
Since you
first.
came up
Yeah.
with the concept.
All right.
So talk about how this is going to go.
Let's talk about the true hero of the film, Edna Mode. Edna, this is breaking news for some of you. Edna is not only actually a super, but she's probably the most powerful super in the entire universe. Let's break this down for a moment. Edna's power is that she sees, anticipates, and can meet need in anything. All right? We see that a little bit in the first film with the super suits being ready and totally adaptable before they had any idea that they even needed them. She, in a very psychic kind of way, can see need and just adapt to it. It's why she's bored with life. It's why she's an artist. It's why she's narcissistic, because she can't do anything without already knowing what it is. And it's the reason that she loves Jack Jack so much, because he shares a similar power. And Jack Jack knows it. He adapts to everything. He also meets need. And the very first thing he does when he meets Edna, minor spoilery stuff, is makes himself look like Edna, the one thing she likes more than anything else in the world. So the reason she bonded with him is because she saw her same power in him.
Okay. Katie.
Jack Jack is going to save us all. Thank you. He is because they say that baby supers exert usually a couple powers before they narrow down to one. He has all the powers, which is unusual even for babies because he is the baby of two supers. Jack Jack is going to save us all. Thank you. Again.
More importantly, the raccoon?
The true villain.
No.
Oh.
Will become Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, like this.
Proven fact.
Speaking to me.
Guardians of the Galaxy prequel, 5 years out.
He got radiation.
Makes
from
the
Jack
link
Jack.
between Incredibles 2 in the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
spiny
We
universes together.
all thought it was about Star-Lord, but really it's about Rocket Raccoon.
And then does Frozone get an eye patch?
You will find out.
Ah.
Spoilers. Remember, we're trying to avoid spoilers. All right, Roger, what's
Dug
yours?
deeper.
Don't dig too deep.
Jack Jack.
3 for Jack Jack?
Yeah.
Apparently I missed the memo.
Yeah.
He saves us.
I gotta do it over.
Jack Jack reminds us all that although you may think you have one power, keep going. Find your power.
Jack Jack is an allegory.
Go beyond what you think you have, because you have more and more and more and more. Basically, Jack Jack just says.
That is what he says. Direct quote.
To take something from up, adventure is out there. In other words, go beyond your limits.
Because
Explore the universe.
the true conspiracy and truth is that you're worth it.
That's true.
And you can read all about it in Roger's new book,
Yes.
Battling Power.
Are you like with a turtleneck on the cover? Like it has to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's straight
So
out of the movies.
those are conspiracy theories for Incredibles 2. We can take off our tinfoil hats now, right? Are we safe? Okay.
I think we're safe.
I mean, you hear Russian too now, right?
I want yours.
Like
Oh, it's okay.
everything just smell purple for a second.
That was weird.
No, that's just
Gonna say it was.
Oh, cool.
All right.
What our top five Pixar movie?
Let's do that really fast. We're running out of time. Top 5 Pixar films. Go ahead.
Number 1, Inside Out. No, Up. I'm so sorry. I've got too far on my list. Number 1
Stressful.
is Up. Number 2 is Coco. Number 3, I just wrote this list earlier. How did I already forget?
I don't have a list.
Oh, no, I have a list. It's comprehensive. I'm so sorry. You do your list. I have to look at mine.
Sure. Number 1, Ratatouille. Number 2, Up. Number 3, Coco. Number 4, Inside Out. And number 5, Toy Story, the original.
Number 1, Coco. Number 2, Finding Nemo. Number 3, Ratatouille. Number 4 is Up. And number 5, let's go with Toy Story.
Okay, I looked at my list. Thank you. Number 1 is Up. Number 2 is Coco. 3, Ratatouille. 4, Monsters, Inc. 5, Original Toy Story.
Good choices.
Thank you. What's
I'm
yours?
going to do Ratatouille, Up. I'm making this up as we go along, so it's fine.
Oh, good.
Ratatouille, Up, Inside Out, and Toy Story 3. And what?
Monsters Inc.
No, that's not one of my favorites. I like it a lot, but it's not one of my favorites.
But the smooth jazz.
Smooth Jazz is really good. And 5 Coco.
Coco.
Yeah. All right.
Go team.
Pixar Pier will be opening this weekend, as we mentioned in our pre-show. You can find on facebook.com/dapsmagic. We will try to do that every week if we can get technology to work. We're getting better at it, though. And Luke's stepping in as producer again tonight, so thank you, Luke. You are a rock star because we've never trained you. And,
Much like real rock stars. We've
Yeah.
never trained them either.
yeah, that's why the Beatles were so great. What are you most looking forward to when Pixar Pier opens on Saturday officially?
I'm going to jump in real quick because it's Incredicoaster and everybody else is going to say it. So, Coaster.
Making the connection from Incredibles 2 to the Incredicoaster and discovering why the queue is as it is.
Yeah.
Food. Is anyone surprised?
No.
Anyone surprised I said food?
Shocked and appalled.
Now,
I actually like how the entire bay is suddenly going to all fit together. I had this realization as I was standing over by Silly Symphony Swings the other day that the aesthetic they're going for with Pixar Pier actually works really well with what's going on with Little Mermaid and Paradise Gardens. And it's the first time that I can remember since Golden Dreams left that
Whoa.
that the entire circle around the bay is all connected and looks like it's supposed to be one place. So even though you have Pixar, Disney, and Paradise Gardens that are kind of 3 different areas, it all suddenly felt very cohesive, and I think that's a really awesome thing. So that's what I'm looking forward to. It'll be fun to see the new Incredibles float in Paint the Night. We'll have stuff about that, pictures and all that jazz. And then we definitely want to get you all on the new Pixar Pal Around.
I mean,
Video,
yeah.
right? You want to see a video of this, right? I think. Let us know in the
So
comments.
I'll be alone on Friday, so I'm so sorry. I can't do it.
You can do
oh
a
no.
Caitlin
How
will help you.
wacky. A selfie cam of me writing it.
This last week, the Disneyland Resort All-American College Band returned for the 2018 season.
Yes.
They're pretty good this year, aren't they, guys?
Yeah.
They're so fun.
Have you gotten to see them in real life yet, Raj?
No.
in real life or in
IRL?
simulation?
Well, I know you watch the videos.
Yeah,
'cause-
it's been on video because they're scheduled Monday through Friday. That's my new work schedule Monday.
and they're in
through
the
Friday.
evenings now.
Yeah,
Late-
that's my
late
work schedule.
evenings.
They start at 5 and they go to about 10:15, and it's a much different
It's wacky.
set schedule than we've
Yeah.
normally had. You can see it all on the website. Favorite college band song? Go.
Oh wow,
Mm-hmm.
Earth, Wind, and Fire medley always.
That's a good one.
Bubbles.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Man after my own heart.
I do love Bubbles, but I had to go fantasy.
So Earth, Wind, and Fire and another Bubbles. So just one, the other, one, the other. Okay, great. Tokyo DisneySea expansion was announced this week also. They're getting a new port that's going to have a Frozen section, a Peter Pan section, and a Tangled section. And it looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest expansion for that park. It has kind of almost a new Fantasyland feel to me as I was looking and reading about it. I'm going to let Roger go first on this just because I feel like you're probably the most passionate about DisneySea of the four of us here. What are your thoughts on these updates?
Well, I've never been to Tokyo Disney Resort at
Yet.
all. Yet is
Yes,
correct.
operative word.
I just think the way they're incorporating, because all the ports, every area in Tokyo DisneySea is a port. So each port has its own story. It's kind of like when you take a cruise. You get off at the different ports and you go explore. Well, that's what you're going to do in this one. Explore what we already know, but maybe see something different. Because how are they going to incorporate a Tangled area?
Yeah.
Frozen, which we'll see in Paris in a couple years, and then Peter Pan.
In Hong Kong too, won't we?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's-
because with Peter Pan's a classic. It's been out since '53, so over 60 years.
Do you think they take it out of Disneyland there to put it in DisneySea?
I don't think so.
You think it's going to be in both parks?
I think it's going to be something
Cool.
completely different. I'm not expecting a Peter Pan's flight type ride.
Yeah.
I'm probably expecting something along the lines with Captain Hook.
That'd be cool.
It'd be really
Like
cool.
maybe a storyline with Captain Hook because it is the port and his ship and
Yeah.
all that. So that would make more sense.
That'd be awesome.
Cool.
And then same thing with Frozen and their port.
Yeah, and I'm sure that will have a lot of crossover
Yeah,
as well.
that'll be a lot of crossover.
I'm intrigued by the Tangled section actually. I think that's something that the music and the storytelling from that movie just has tons of potential. So they could really have some fun with that. I feel like it'll be interesting because some of the artwork is just kind of like, oh, that's where you're going with it, and you can check that out on the site. But so that part, I'm kind of like, I don't know what I think of the attraction they showed, but I just think it's such a fun, like the music's so fun with it. I think there's a lot of potential.
I think that it's kind of a general consensus that the Tokyo DisneySea is one of the best Disney theme parks that exists. So I think that a giant expansion like this one is going to take it to the next level. I think that we haven't been disappointed by Imagineering and the things that come out of Imagineering. And I'm super excited about Tangled. And I know Frozen's overdone, but I think Frozen is going to be beautiful. So, and Peter Pan.
Clearly it's not overdone because their focus groups are saying they need more.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Two things. One, to hit back on the Peter Pan thing, it is a life goal of mine to be able to go in the London scene and just walk around.
Yeah.
Because I want to be a large dinosaur. Two, DisneySea, I mean, obviously everyone that goes there seems to love it, but also I love that it's such a different concept for them to play with the approach of enjoying an area, and the fact that they're expanding in the way they are really shows that it's paid off and they're willing to try these things more. I think it bodes well to try something so new and creative in one location, see it pay off more, and then see more individual creativity in the other projects they do.
So, this is a good improvement for the park?
Yes.
Okay,
Believe
great.
so.
Finally, tonight, this last week, there was a Dumbo teaser trailer that was released, and we got our first glimpse of, well,
I can't believe that was this week.
it was last Friday, I think.
No, it was last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday?
No,
last
it was
Tuesday
Tuesday.
night.
It was Tuesday
Because I
night at
wrote
midnight.
I wrote
That's
the
right.
article at,
Yes.
It was a midnight.
So, we have a new trailer. What did you guys think of it very quickly as we run out of time? Go, Cameron.
It didn't feel like Tim Burton, and that's a very good compliment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They would use Baby Mine to pull at our heartstrings.
Yeah, I was surprised that it was Tim Burton because I am a huge critic of Tim Burton because I do not like his style at all.
Yeah.
So I was completely surprised.
Yeah, it was a good direction for it. It's going to take, for me, some getting used to how Dumbo looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was the only kind of, like, jarring moment because I don't know what I expected, but I don't know. I think I expected the little elephant from the end of Jungle Cruise with big ears,
Makes
to be
sense.
completely honest.
Also
and,
named Bubbles, I believe.
Yes.
I won't go for the Jungle Cruise joke right there. But what do you think? It's going to be a good movie?
Yeah.
I'm about 80% of the way there.
Cautiously optimistic?
Yeah.
As long as it's longer than 64 minutes, I think we'll be okay.
I think it absolutely will be. Yeah. And I just want to see more of what's coming for the Christopher Robin movie, too.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I don't know why that just pivoted me to Christopher Robin, which
Live
I
action.
think I heard is getting new Sherman Brothers music, or Richard Sherman music. Is
I
that
believe
correct?
so, yeah.
So that'll be good. I didn't have time to write it, but that's cool. All right. Well, we are running out of time for this week.
You should go to thegeekscorner.com. We're good at talking about things, and you can see plenty of examples talking.
Words.
You should go to dapsmagic.com because we're also really good about writing things. So go check out all the news that happened this week and subscribe to our mailing list.
And also subscribe to this YouTube channel and find us on social media because we'd love to connect
Find
with
us.
you. And
Everywhere.
yeah, that thing. We won't be wearing aluminum hats, I hope. But we'd love to connect with you on social media and continue the conversation throughout the week. And make sure to follow us this week in particular as we cover the opening of Pixar Pier. But that is all the time we have for you this week. And Katie's going crazy, so we will see you around the corner.